Hey guys, it's still summer and therefore we're going to have another virtual gun show. I made the point, we've done 1, 2, and now this is virtual gun show number 3 because the gun shows are all closed down. Allentown is in July in Forks of the Delaware if you want to look that one up. But for the most part, there's no shows and therefore I bring you a virtual gun show. Now I just made a quick run around this gun show, that means the safe, because there's not that many to show you, but the ones that I'm going to show you are real and they're spectacular.
They're real and they're spectacular.
So these are the guns that I decided to show you for our virtual gun show number 3, but this is also 4th of July weekend coming up. And you might want to check out our website because we have some items for sale. This is one of the ones that we're going to put on sale. The reason is this has been on the site for a while and I am astonished, amazed, and bemiffed as to why this is still available. This should have sold long ago. This is a 9mm boxed PP. Now the box alone, to have the original box in 9mm, there was less than 10% of the Walthers PPs and PPKs, less than 10% were in 9mm. So to find the original box is rare for any gun, but a 9mm or a 22 caliber is unheard of. So the box itself, I think, would be about $500. This sells for about $300. It's dated 1939, actually April of 39. This sells for about $300. This is $150. This is a couple $100. That's the Walther factory here. You can see the oiler with the rag for cleaning your gun, all original. This 9mm magazine can go $300-$400. And all of this comes together with a beautiful gun. And I'm going to say 98% 9mm. It's got the bottom release magazine. Reason for the bottom release, a standard Walther will have a push button here. But with the 9mm, when you drill the hole, it weakens the frame. The kick was strong enough that they were worried about fractures in the frame. So they made them bottom release. And so we have a 9mm with a finger extension. A 9mm in this condition will sell for about $3,500, and when you add in all the accessories, you're in the $4,500 range. It's been on the site for a lot less. I think it's a great buy. Oh, the one negative, I should have started with the one negative, but a good salesman doesn't start with the negative. This serial number is off just a little bit. So this is a numbered original box, but it is a few hundred numbers off. Altogether, this is, again, put this one away in the safe. It's a great buy, and it is going on sale for the 4th of July. Okay, this gun show is also very rare because it features 2 Party Leader PPK holsters. Now, I often muse about the fact I used to go to the Allentown show, and I'd see maybe 2 or 3 Party Leader holsters or sometimes a Party Leader rig. Now you can go to any gun show, you can go to 10 gun shows, you can go to 30, 40 gun shows and not find a single Party Leader holster or Party Leader grip gun. So I have 2 Party Leaders. They came in 3 colors. One is the tan. That's the most common one for the early ones. And then a little bit later they also made what I call a coffee color or a chocolate brown. They have the Nazi Party Leader Eagle here. This one, it's a lot more pronounced than that. That adds to the value. It's almost impossible to find them in mint condition, and this one I would describe as mint. I'll open them up in a minute. One other color is black. You will find Party Leaders with a black Party Leader. That could have been a brown or a tan one that was dyed black later on. I've studied them pretty extensively. Most of the ones I see look like they were dyed black, and they do have a black Party Leader grip that would go with it. I don't have one right now, but I have seen them that some, I mentioned some look like they were dyed black, and some of them, I don't see any signs of them being dyed. So I would say they come in tan, brown, and black. Now, let's just take a look at the difference. This one is very good. It's got some cracking in here, You can't see the Walther stamp. There's usually a Walther PPK stamp here. And this one in this condition, well, we have one on the site now that's $3,500, but I'd say this is about a $3,000 holster as opposed to this one, which would be $1,000 more, just because you really don't find them in this condition. It's tan with, I love the orange stitching. Notice how bright that orange is in there. So this is an orange stitching. By the way, they are always ACA marked right here. That's DRGM with the ACA logo. You can see how pronounced the party leader eagle is. And then inside you can see the word Walther, PPK. Again, orange stitching, bright orange stitching. This is just incredible. And will be in the $4,000 range. Let's move along to the next row at this gun show, because this guy here has a very interesting P38, and I'm going to compare it with this P38. Now, these are both AC41s, and again, adding just a little bit of education, we have a 41 dated holster. There's the maker, 41 dated and P38. This is in very good condition. It's not excellent and not mint, but it's a pretty clean holster. When we take it out, you can see AC41 and you see the high polish finish. Now, this is in the B block. It's all matching. There's the serial number in the B block, serial number in the B block. This is actually a variation 1 from 1941. They were no suffix A and B. One of the easiest ways to recognize variation 1, it has an AC right here. It'll also have an AC on the barrel. Now, one negative on the finish is the front strap is pretty worn. I wanted to compare it with this AC. This is AC 41 in the J block. So you learn a lot about the finishes at the factory just by looking at these. This we know was made in 41 and has a high polish finish. Both sides of the gun, nice high polish finish. First variation. So we know that the Walther factory was using a high polish finish in 1941 in the early months of 1941. But by the end of 1941, they transitioned to this, what I call a duller military blue finish. If you look at the front straps, this is purposely a very thin finish. They just didn't put a lot of finish on them. You also see a little bit of a plum hue. I'm going to shine a light on that. I don't know if that helps or not, but on the frame, you should be able to see like a plum color. You can see the contrast here between the slide and the frame. Another difference in 1941, the early variation will have Waffen stamp grips and numbered to the gun. This gun, one of the only downsides, besides the front strap being worn, the other downside, it is Waffen stamped, but it's not numbered. So this was probably a replacement pair. In late 1941, they are Waffen stamped and they were not numbered. So these are Waffen stamped, not numbered, and they are correct, probably original. And this one is Waffen stamped, not numbered, probably replacement. But the biggest plus on this one is it has 2 matching magazines. Let's take the time to pop this out, talking about going to gun shows. And I used to be able to go to gun shows and find 2 match mag Lugers, 2 match mag P38s. And now when I go, I can go to 3 or 4 shows, really good shows, and not find anything like this. First variation, high polish finish from 1941. There's the serial number. It matches the slide, the frame, the barrel, the locking block, and 2 matching magazines. So this is a full rig with 2 matching magazines. The one in the J block, you can see the serial number here, and the magazine also is in the J block, but a little bit off. So it is in the J block, 1941, numbered, but not matching to the gun. Okay, next I have a .22 caliber PP. And remember what I just told you about finishes in the Walther factory. Remember I said high polish finish in 1941, but by the end of 1941, they went to a duller finish, like this. And here's one of the reasons this is important. People write to me almost every day and say, here's my gun, here's the serial number, when was it made? Well, we can only give you approximate dates, but here's the best way to figure out so you don't even have to contact me. You can answer people's questions just like I do. Let's do a little forensic exploration here. Again, big vocabulary. I hope you can keep up. Notice these are Eagle N proofed. Eagle N, Eagle N. Now, that started in 1940. This is high polish finish, so we know it has to be after the beginning of 1940, and it has to be before the end of 1941 because the finish is not dull, it's high polish. So I can look at this, you send me pictures, you think I'm brilliant, but all I do is I look at this and say, it's after 1940 and certainly before the middle of 41. So that's the approximate date of this, and that's how we determine it. We know what finishes they were using, we know what stamps they use, and that's how we go about identifying the date of a gun that isn't dated. The beauty of the P38 is they always have the date right here. BYF will have the date. CYQ does not, but you get the idea of how to date these. This is 22 caliber, 7 hole, which is the correct early magazine. Beautiful gun. I'd say 98, maybe even 99%. They don't come much better than that. And when was it made? Late 40, early 41. Okay, we're almost done, and some people would say the best is yet to come, but I have a PPK. This is one of the last ones made in 1944. They did not make the PP in 1945 because they put all of the production energy into the PPs and discontinued the PPK. How do I know that? Because the 45 PPs did not have a logo. Also, you can look at the finish and know that it's a military style, probably 1944. Black grip started in late 43. We have a wartime magazine, which has the Walther banner and the caliber, 7.65. So this is very late because the serial number is 430. 430,000, and they stopped at about 431. So it was right at the end of production. It does have the Eagle N proof. It does have the serial number on the slide and the frame, which after 350,000, they did that on every gun. So please don't write and say, this has serial number on the slide and the frame, therefore it's SS. Not true, because after 350,000, they all were numbered on the slide and the frame. The magazine would not be numbered because this probably went to a private party, commercial use, or private purchase by a party official or even a military officer. This is just a really beautiful example. Dural aluminum, so it's lightweight. I've mentioned before, you can see a line right here. There's a line, and that's where the steel barrel meets the aluminum frame, and so you can see that line right where those two metals meet. This is just an excellent example of a PPK, one of the last ones made off the factory. Now, next are two guns that are brand new. This is what they look like the day they left the factory. This one came out of my personal collection. Notice the grips are just beautiful. No, they were not bleached. They just have not been, there's no layers of oil or corrosion or dirt from your hand. This is just a beautiful example. You can see even the screw has like a fire blue finish. You can see the fire blue on the finish. You can see the straw color here is just absolutely beautiful. Beautiful, as in this is beautiful. There's fire blue right here. You can see the color on that. Look at the straw on this. So the day it left the factory, this is what it looked like. I'm pulling this out. There's a little bump right there. It is in 30 caliber because it is a commercial DWM made in the 20s, and you can just see how exquisite it is. There's the magazine, blank bottom, all correct. Why the heck am I selling this? I must be crazy. Here you can see the Crown N proof, which is a commercial proof. Up here, again, you can see Crown N, and then again some fire blue. Oh, I just found a flaw. Well, maybe it left the factory with this, but you can see there's the $1 million chip. Just means that a million of these things are chipped because when you put that down, if it hits wrong, it'll make a little chip, or when you pry it out. There's a little bit of wear on the front of this. And again, this won't last long. That's beautiful here, a little bit of wear here, but overall, a brand new gun. And speaking of brand new guns, this one's gonna rock your world because it rocked mine. I bought this from an auction, and when I first got it, I thought, what? I was aghast. This is absolutely original finish. No wear at all. This gun is 100%. Look at these grips. I've never seen grips that look so nice. Again, fire blue on the screw. Look at the finish on that. Look at the front strap. Absolutely beautiful. Has a Navy magazine, by the way. I'm sure this is correct. Navy magazine, although the front strap is not marked Navy, this is a Navy magazine. You can see how beautiful it is, but my one reservation would be that's a Navy marking, Kriegsmarine marking. I'm just not sure about it. The inscription of the Navy Eagle is, the lines are pretty thin and somewhat weak. Now, in fairness, these were individually inscribed. So this might have been a day that a new guy came in, or there was an intern up from Columbia University to help mark these. So just kidding, of course. So this marking does not look like others I've seen, but this gun is so brand new. I just am really reticent to let it go. However, I am going to offer it up for sale. Again, the finish, you can see fire blue here. These grips are like brand new. No sign that has been handled by sweaty palms, just perfectly preserved. And again, Navy Kriegsmarine marking here and Navy Kriegsmarine marking here. I'll pull the magazine out. I think the magazine is not as mint as the gun, but it's pretty darn, yeah, that's pretty nice. There's a little bit of wear, but you do have to slide this magazine in and out. I doubt this has ever been, well, it's only been shot a few times, has a mint bore, but this is what the 1934 Mauser pistol looked like the day it left the factory. Just incredible. How many gun shows do you have to go to see something like that? All right, the last one you would think is the least impressive because it's just a Walther PPK. It's got quite a bit of finish wear here. The front strap's pretty nice. This has a nice standard flat. It's not that nice. It's got some wear here, actually just running in and out both sides. Looks like something splattered on it even, but it is a correct Walther banner only magazine. And when we look at the name, Hans Fiedler, 1937, my first look at this, I think, well, they took a gun that wasn't that great and they made it even worse by putting their name on it. That usually doesn't help because it's not a factory marking, it's just somebody put their name on it. In fact, I would theorize that this person, let's just cover that up, that fits on there perfectly. Fiedler, 1937, that fits on there perfectly. But it's almost as if, oh, there's two Fiedlers. So let's go ahead and put, so it's like this was added on. It's like when somebody writes and they go over the edge and then go down. This time they go around the corner and over here. Anyway, I'm making too much of it, but I had to laugh when I saw this inscription that says Hans Fiedler, 1937. Well, then I Googled it and I found this gun for sale at Rock Island Auction. And here's the write-up. I found this listing on Rock Island when I just Googled Hans Fiedler 1937. It's found on the frame. This is, I'll get a little closer, you can see that's still, it has the same lack of planning on the inscription. Again, this is not a factory inscription, I'm sure. It's somebody, whoever bought it, Hans, when he bought it, he had his name engraved on it. Probably went down to the local jeweler and had it done. The guy was sick that day, and so his wife came down and did it, and she'd never used the machine before. But actually, they show that Hans Fiedler, and they have some documentation. However, there's nothing to tie this gun, this serial number, the name ties in, the date ties in, the serial number, there's nothing to show that this gun was owned by Hans Fiedler, the U-boat captain. But it does have a write-up. Hans Fiedler joined the Navy in 1936. He became part of a U-boat crew, I believe in 37, and then he was on several ships. It gives a little bit of history about Hans Fiedler, and then it also directs you to this website, and you can click on each one of these. It says he was awarded the Iron Cross, the War Badge in 1939, U-boat War Badge, Iron Cross First Class, U-boat Commander, and his last mission, U-333, on July 31st, 1944. It was sunk, and he died when the U-boat was sunk by the Allied Navy. There's probably more research that needs to be done, but again, going back to the gun, I didn't give it much attention. Now, what does that do to the price of the gun? So let's say the condition of this gun is about $1,800. Adding the person's name or social security number, that actually doesn't help at all. It hurts the value a little bit. So we're still about $1,800 to $2,000. But if we could prove a connection between this gun and this U-boat captain, it would easily go to $10,000. I did sell an HSC that was Navy marked, and I had documentation showing that it was captured by a crew, actually the USS Sutton, and the captain handed over his pistol, and then it was documented as being given to one of the officers on board, and he kept documents and sworn affidavits, et cetera, and that one with provenance sold for $10,000, and that was about 10 years ago. So probably the price would shoot up exponentially, but again, there is no direct connection between this person and this particular gun other than the name that is inscribed on the frame. Okay, that's today's virtual gun show. You want to like and subscribe to our channel because I'm going to bring you as many virtual gun shows as I can before the end of the summer. And don't forget, when you watch this channel, you're going to see real and spectacular guns like these.